Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, A Bored Trader. In this video, I just want to introduce you to who I am as a trader and my entire approach to trading. Hopefully this video will answer any questions you might have, but if it doesn't, you can always drop your questions in the comment section below. So first things first, who am I? Well, I'm a UK-based swing trader who has been trading since the COVID crash, so around March 2020. And for the past 10 years or so, I've also been running my own internet marketing and e-commerce businesses. But my plans are to eventually make a full-time transition to stock trading at some point in the near future. I began trading stocks probably for the same reason as most people who begin trading, a better lifestyle and financial freedom. And I've always wanted to be my own boss. And it's a natural decision for me because every job I've ever had, I've never really enjoyed. Some were just outright miserable. And being somewhat of an introvert and someone who strived for more in life, I found it incredibly difficult to fit into your typical working environment. And I believe that the profession of trading can provide me with the kind of life that I desire. Before I actually began trading stocks, I was investing in stocks. This was during 2018, so I wasn't a complete newbie in stocks when I entered the realm of trading, which definitely helped. Anyway, I first began trading UK equities. More specifically, I was scalping momentum stocks on my phone using the IG app. I made around £2,500 profit in my first month, but then proceeded to lose most of it in the following month. That was a pretty exhilarating but very stressful time, and I quickly found out that it's not really something I could do long term. So I took a break for a few months, got bit by the trading bug again, and the rest is history. In a nutshell, I am purely an equity swing trader who relies on 90% technicals and 10% fundamentals. I've tried scalping and day trading, but eventually settled on swing trading because it's less stressful, less time consuming and more scalable. I didn't get into trading to end up sitting in front of the screen all day. I got into it to make the most amount of money possible using the least amount of effort. Even though I am based in the UK, I now exclusively trade US stocks, simply because it's the biggest market, it has the most volume, and it provides the most opportunities. As of right now, I mainly trade episodic pivots, which is also known as EPs, earnings plays, gap and go. There are many names for it. And the setup is basically when a stock gaps up on huge volume due to a major catalyst like earnings, positive guidance, new partnerships, new data, pretty much anything that could significantly improve the prospects of a company. And the reason why I mainly play EPs is because it's my most profitable setup by far. There aren't many of them compared to some other setups, but they can sometimes produce massive moves that can last for weeks or months. I've tried breakouts, pullbacks, moving averages, bottom bounces, parabolic shorts, and none of them have really resonated with me as a trader. So I'm just going to stick with what's currently working for me. A Lenovo ThinkPad, a 24 and 27-inch EYAMA monitor, an MSI portable monitor, and an Elgato Stream Deck. My broker is Interactive Brokers, and my trading platform is Dash Trader, and I use FinViz Elite to screen stocks. And lastly, for journaling, I use TraderSync and Microsoft OneNote. I think it was around the last quarter of 2023. I looked at all of my stats on TraderSync and I went through a process of elimination and refinement. That process pretty much led me to only trade EPs that meet a very specific criteria. I did that for a few months just to see how it would pan out, and when my equity curve began to trend upwards, I knew it was time to size up. And before then, I was trading really small size, so even though I sustained hundreds upon hundreds of losses, it didn't really impact my account that much. So when I did eventually size up and had my first big win, my account just instantly went into the green. That was in Feb 2024. So it's taken me nearly 4 years to become profitable. Thousands and thousands of hours studying the markets. There's really no other way around it. I read a few books here and there, read lots of things on social media, listened to loads of podcasts and watched loads of YouTube videos. But the number one thing that helped me the most was just purely studying the charts. Learn how stocks move, the recurring patterns they produce, how they react in certain market cycles, specific characteristic each type of stock has. And you don't really need to study anything else. And in my opinion, too much information can be a bad thing. That's one of the reasons why it took me 4 years to become profitable, when it really could have only taken me 2 years. Essentially, I was going around in circles, testing a bunch of different strategies and setups recommended by other traders, rather than just sticking to a select few. I mean, obviously, there's always a catch-22 where you won't know what's going to click for you until you actually test out a number of different things, which could take many, many years. So I'd say don't be too worried about how long it could take. Just embrace the journey. There's a lot of fluff out there and you can easily get buried in useless information. But the good thing is, through all of this fluff, I found some really great stuff that has leveled up my trading, which I'm going to share with you. So let's first start off with the books. Mark Minervini, Trade Like a Stock Market Wizard. Nicholas Darvas, How I Made $2 million in the Stock Market. Jesse Livermore, How to Trade Stocks. Stan Weinstein, Secrets for Profit in Bull and Bear Markets. Jack Schwager, Market Wizards and Unknown Market Wizards. Please bear in mind that these books, minus the Jack Schwager ones, they're mainly focused around swing trading and breakout methods. So if you're a different type of trader, you might not get as much use out of them. Let's move on to my recommended YouTube channels. We have Trader Lion, Kula Maggie, which, by the way, if you don't want to watch his entire multi-hour streams, there are other YouTubers that have condensed his videos down to 5 to 15 minute segments. Just type in his name and you'll find them. There's Financial Wisdom, Chat with Traders, and StockBee. Once again, all of these channels are focused mainly around swing trading, so they may not help you much if you're a day trader or scalper. And I think that's about it. There are some social media platforms that I've used in the past, like Twitter and Reddit, but I don't really recommend them because they haven't really had a big impact on my trading. And if I could start over, I'd probably just stick with some books and videos that center around my type of trading style. I'm going to try and condense this down to just a few practical tips that I believe are the most important for making a successful trader. So the first one is to acknowledge that to become a successful trader takes time. It could be anything from 2 to 10 years before you arrive and become consistently profitable. If you can't accept this, then you should probably find a different profession, because you'll just end up quitting in the end. The second one is try to understand what type of trader you are. This is something I didn't really give much thought to in the beginning, and I wish I did, because it would have saved me tons of time. In the beginning, I thought I wanted to become a day trader, but long story short, it didn't align with my personality and goals in life, leading me to make the transition to swing trading. So if you can figure out early on what type of lifestyle you want, that would more or less determine your trading style. Start by risking a really small amount per trade, no more than 0.5% of your trading account. This makes it really hard to blow up your account, and there's absolutely no need to risk much money when you're not even profitable. In the beginning, your entire aim is to learn how to trade, not to make money. When you start seeing consistency, that's when you can increase your risk. The next tip is to create a playbook of setups you're interested in trading. So for example, if you plan to trade breakouts, then write down the characteristics for that specific setup and screenshot hundreds to thousands of charts displaying that setup. Then you can go back and study these charts again and again and understand the conditions surrounding the setup. Things like news, volume, patterns, support, resistance, etc. They all play a part in your specific setup. You should log all of your trades in a trading journal, be it Excel or an online platform like TraderSync. This lets you go back and analyze your trades so you can eliminate mistakes and refine your setup even more. Important things you should keep an eye on include risk to reward, profit factor, company info such as market cap, sector, its float size, average volume. It might also help you to write down your thoughts behind a trade. So that's all the tips I'm going to give for now. There is plenty more, but I believe those are the most essential that every aspiring trader should follow. So as a swing trader, there's long periods of time where I don't really do any trading. I'd say that 90% of the time is just going through charts and waiting for things to set up. These are the boring periods. So that's how I came up with the name, a bored trader. And that's it. I think I've covered all of the main things in relation to my trading. But as I said before, if you have any other questions, feel free to drop it in the comment section below and I'll get back to you there. All the best to your trading and I shall see you soon.